utilization too high. It could be your age of file not too dense.
Now, you know you got to break that down too. Hold on.
That's why they got to come to the event.
Tune in, y'all. We live. Hold this, man. You the cameraman.
All right.
Thank you.
We have Preston coming up here.
Huh?
We have Preston coming up
Yeah.
here.
Hey, G, you got your mic out there?
Yeah.
All right. Charleston's exclusive home for hits and hip-hop, 98.7 to beat Woodrow inside our St. Jude Radio Time 2020, but we got to break it up a little bit. Got my dog Will Roundtree in the building. He's an author. He going to fix your credit. He going to get you right. He's an entrepreneur. What else are you, Will? Talk to me, man.
We do everything. We entrepreneurs, we authors. Some people call me a motivational speaker. I'm still questioning that. But more importantly, we're here to inspire.
No doubt.
Because whether it's about credit, whether it's about entrepreneurship, whether it's about business, we need some hope in our community. We need some inspiration. And so I would like to say that's really what this mission is about.
So let's start it off right here, man. The biggest question is, how can I fix my credit? I got a 420. I took out a loan to go to college. They're taking my taxes. I can't get my credit score up. How can I fix my credit?
Well, the first thing, they need to call me and my team.
Okay.
That's the first thing. But no, more importantly, it's really just knowing, first of all, what are the reasons that your score is a 4 or whatever. Because some people, so taking that situation, you got student loans. Well, do you have late payments? Do you have anything in collections? Mm-hmm. Do you just have a credit card that's overutilized? So it's really different things that could be a component of what your credit score is. And I tell people, the credit score is really it's a little bit intimidating, and it also can be a little bit misleading.
Okay.
Because you can have a 400 credit score. It doesn't mean your credit is horrible. It could just mean that the information that is comprised of what is in the credit profile is making up the score. So, for example, let's say you have nothing but a $300 credit card. That's it. Nothing else reporting. As long as you make payments on that card over time, keep the balance low, and and keep the card in good standings, you'll have a 700 plus score. But take that same $300 credit card, get a late payment, and it go to collections, you'll have a 400. So it doesn't mean your credit is horrible. You got $300 worth of debt, and that account is in a derogatory status. So we just got to figure out what's the reason that's hurting the score, and we fix that problem.
And your team can do that.
We do that.
Like, you can take we was talking off the air. You can take my credit score up 100 points.
We've done 200 points literally in 30 days. Now, everybody's situation is different.
Right.
But, yeah, we've seen as much as a 200-point increase in 30 days.
Now, tell us about your books, man. Which one was the first one?
So the first book I wrote in 2016 is called Credit is King.
Tell me about that.
So really it's just a manual about credit. Didn't want to do a how-to. It's a million of those out there. But I want to give people some information on, first of all, what is credit? A lot of people really don't know.
Right.
And so
what is credit?
Credit is, in layman's terms, it's the ability to make payments over time. It's, me exchanging you a line of credit and you making payments on that, and then, or me trusting you with essentially fictitious money and hoping you're going to pay me back.
Right.
And so, as long as you make payments on that, long as you take care of that, long as you keep the balance under a certain percentage of whatever the overall limit is, you'll always have a good credit score, or you'll be good or favorable in my eyes for me to continue to lend you money.
Right.
And so also, the book is about how to maintain your credit. Some people get good credit and mess it up because they don't know why it got messed up.
Right.
We talk about the different myths of credit. People think, if I marry someone with bad credit, my credit is going to be bad. No.
Is that true?
Yeah. No. Whatever you come to the table with, that's what you're leaving with. And so you have credit myths. We talk about how to deal with collection agents. A lot of people may not know collectors can't call you past a certain time of the day. How to deal with identity theft, the difference between a FICO score and a FACO score, understanding interest rates.
Hold on.
Yes.
FICO and FACO.
Yes.
Help me out. I know you got the thing at Washington State University. But
Right.
What's the difference in a FICO and a FACO?
So a FICO score is essentially it's an algorithm of what calculates your actual score that is used by 90+% of lenders. The FACO score is what we call it within the industry, so it's more like industry jargon. when you go and pull the credit monitoring. So if you go into like a Credit Karma or a place like that, we call that a FICO score because it's not 100% accurate. It's within the realm of what your actual FICO score is.
So that's not our real score when we
Usually
go to Credit Karma.
Credit Karma might have your feelings hurt. You think you got a 700, you go to the dealership and it's like a 612.
That's disappointing.
We've seen that before.
Wow. So tonight, man, tell me about tonight, man. You're going to be at West Virginia State University. What is that about?
Oh, yeah. So basically came out and shout out to West Virginia State University, the EDC and, Enact Community Action. They brought me out to really just come out and empower the community, talk about credit, talk about entrepreneurship, and for all my entrepreneurs, how to get money for their business because the credit is the barometer to helping them do so. And really just even helping people understand that we're all entrepreneurs at heart.
Right. Everybody want to be it.
Everybody. It's the new sexy thing right now.
Right.
But the biggest issue that a lot of them have is the money. How do I get started? How do I scale my business? How do I grow? How do I open another location? And it all starts with credit because it's only so long you can continue to bankroll your own business. Because you will run out of money.
So is it true like the way you start a business with somebody else's money?
Always. OPM.
What is it called?
OPM, other people's money.
Other people's money.
Or as we say, TBM, the bank's money.
The bank's money.
Yes.
So it's not very smart to use all your money to start your business.
Well, I'm not going to say it's not very smart. I'll just say that that strategy is old information. Because let's say you start a business, you use all your own money, the business goes bad, and let's say you invested $50,000. It's hard to recoup $50,000.
Right.
But if I go and use the bank's money, use $50,000 of their money, the business potentially may go bad, but guess what? Now I owe the bank, but guess what? Now I can fix my credit.
Right.
So it's really just about strategies. And I tell people, we don't have a money problem, we have a strategy problem.
Better talk that talk, dog.
That's smart.
G, you got something you want to say, man? Go ahead, G.
Hey, I'm listening to you. I'm taking heed to everything he's saying in there. I'm just sitting back and making my notes.
Will Roundtree is in the building now. Do you got a website that people can go to right now?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so my personal branded website is willroundtree.com.
Okay.
And then, of course, my company website with all of the services that we offer is wemanagementinc.com. That's wemanagementinc.com.
So that's where we can go and get our credit fixed.
Absolutely. My team is on standby literally right now.
Yes. Now, what's the ideal score to have? I know you said 850 is the highest, and what's the lowest? 350?
Something we don't want to be at.
What's the ideal score?
So it really depends on what you're trying to qualify for. I would say if you want to ensure yourself that you can get approved for whatever, you want to be at least at about a 700 to a 720. Ideal score, 680 is kind of like middle of the road. It's considered fair.
Right.
But you can get approved for a mortgage for as low as a 620. Some lenders will let you get qualified with the 580.
But what's the rate though? What's the interest rate on that? That's gonna be like kind of high, right?
It's actually not as bad as you would think. Now, for an automobile, if you go in with a 500,
tear you up
20+%. And this time of the year, tax season, this is why I tell people, look, instead of going and putting 30% down on a vehicle that won't even last in the next 6 months, invest that to fix your credit. Now you go to the dealership and you don't put money down on a vehicle when you have good credit. You walk out of there with the vehicle that you want, as opposed to them giving you the vehicle that matches your credit profile.
Right.
So absolutely.
So tonight, man, starts at 5 o'clock. Is it a cost to this, or what's the cost? It's free.
It's $3.99.
It's free.
Free.
So you giving this game out for free?
Free.
Free, man. 5 o'clock, West Virginia State University. Now, we talked about the first book, Credit is King.
Yes.
And the second book, what's the name of that one?
It's called Full-Time CEO, and I'm talking about the things they don't tell you about in business and entrepreneurship. I tell people, when you go into entrepreneurship, it's a lonely road.
Yes, sir.
You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose money. You might lose a relationship. Uh-huh. So we talk about all of that. And then, of course, I use that book to also just share my story and my journey. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, and it definitely has not all been, peaches and cream, as they might call it. It's been a journey.
So what's the biggest mistake you think you've done to be an entrepreneur? What was the biggest mistake?
The biggest mistake I would say I personally made was I got into something strictly for the money. And when I was chasing the money, it never went right.
Right.
And when I started to do things strictly to help other people, as they say, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll be blessed beyond measure. So my focus is really just to be able to go out here and help other people.
That's what's up, man. That's
Definitely.
dope, man.
Appreciate it.
My man Fred hit me up. He's like, "What do you got to meet this guy?" And I said, "You got to bring him by the show because everybody want to fix their credit, but they have no idea how to fix their credit. or what's the score, or how it affect you if you're walking around with a 400 credit score compared to a 700 credit score, right, and you go get the same car. That the interest rate might be 4.5 on the same car. If you got a bad credit, it's gonna be 22. And you pay for this car 3 times.
For the vehicle, absolutely.
And like you said, the junk gonna break down in 2 years, so they're gonna make you come back from the same dealership and get another car at 22%.
Upside down.
Yeah, upside down.
You're just rolling in negative equity. It's a cycle. And they want us to be ignorant to this information.
Right.
And that's why I've made it my mission to try to educate as many people as I can, because, debt can be stressful.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, it's fun right now because they got their taxes back. Let's talk about in May and June. When them taxes run out.
You educate them so they invest that money wisely. And it may be invested to fix your credit. You may have to invest that to fix your entire family credit.
Right.
And so just understanding that it's really about, and that's what I say. I tell people that your credit is an investment. It's a lifeline.
Right.
And I think, and that's because we've been looking at it from a consumer standpoint. Think about it like this. I talked about this a little bit earlier when I was talking to a group of kids, a group of young men, excuse me. Everyone's familiar with like the Khalif Browder story,
mm-hmm,
and ultimately what ended up happening to him. And that situation ultimately happened. His bail was $500. Now imagine if somebody in his family had a credit card for $5,000-$6,000, right, to be able to pay the bail for $500.
But nothing.
Right. So it's just like it's a lifeline. It's a tool. But we've been so conditioned to look at credit from a consumer standpoint. As an entrepreneur, credit is a tool.
Right.
As opposed to me trying to squeeze my savings to pay for my marketing budget, now I can use a line of credit that the bank gave me and go and double or triple up on my marketing budget to ensure that I can keep my business sustained. Because that's one of the top reasons a lot of businesses go out of business, because nobody know they exist. They don't have a marketing budget. So credit is really just a tool. It's a lifeline, and when you understand how to use it, you have an unfair advantage in the marketplace.
So how many credit cards should you have?
It really depends on the
situation. My mama got like 40 of them, Jones. I'm like, Mama, you don't need no Kohl's card. She got an Amoco card. She got a gas card. She got, but her credit's straight. She pays them, but she just opened up the cards and she got 40. She got one of them billfolds that you do that. You remember the old school junk?
Right.
And you got all your cards right there. So is that a good thing, or you should have 2 cards that say which one is the?
Well, it depends on your situation. So if you're someone who doesn't leverage your credit from a business standpoint, 1 or 2 for in the case of emergency situation is suffice. I tell everyone you should have at least 5,000 to 10,000 just in case, because from a standpoint, I know a lot of people who don't believe in credit cards.
Right.
So let's say you got $1,000 credit card. That's it. And we all know life happens. Brakes go out, $700. You don't have the cash in the bank. What are you gonna use to fix the brakes?
You gonna go borrow from
Nope. You're gonna use
I know. I'm just saying, if you don't have a credit card, you'll be calling around and say, "Hey man, can I hold this till I get paid?" But if you got that credit card, you can do it right
like that. But because the utilization is a factor, the fact that you had to put the $700 on the $1,000 credit card, now your utilization is at 70%. Your score just dropped 100 points.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Is it true that you're supposed to use 30% of your limit?
30% or less.
Or less.
Anytime it goes over that, your score drops.
I don't understand. Like, you giving me $3,000, but you don't want me to use
It's a game.
You punish me for using it?
You gotta learn how to play it. It's just like anything. It really is a game. And when you learn how to play it, you can play differently. But then when you learn the strategies of credit, you play at a higher level. This is what the wealthy have been doing forever.
Right. So how did you learn the game, man? What?
It really started out just as a personal need. I moved to Las Vegas in 2005.
You didn't gamble? You didn't see no dice or nothing?
Nah.
See, that'd have been my problem. My credit card would have been maxed out first day, boy.
Nah.
The dice table would have had all my money. I'd be like, Will told me to move to Vegas and get my credit, right? I'm broke off this joke, right?
Nah, I didn't.
So you didn't gamble at all?
Nah, I didn't gamble.
Okay, so you went out there.
The gamble I took was moving to Vegas.
Right.
And didn't know anybody. So I took a chance and bet on myself. But I moved out there, credit was horrible. But how I found out is like I kept getting denied for apartments. I needed a cosigner for a vehicle. I'm 26 years old asking my mother to cosign for me. I'm like, that's not cool.
Right.
And so from that point, I'm like, you know what? I need to fix my credit. So started just learning everything I can about credit, and then just started to learn that when you have good credit, life is a little bit different.
It is.
Bad credit is expensive, And so from that standpoint, fast forwarding from there, I saw what it had done for me and people around me. So I said, you know what? I want to go out and educate people about this. And I never got into this to be a credit repair guy. It was really just to go and educate people, and it just kind of morphed and grew and took its own course from there.
Now, folks don't understand, man. You apply for jobs, they look at your credit report. They're gonna see if you can manage money or what you do with your money. If you got a 300 credit score,
you might not get employed.
It's gonna be tough to get a job. So, man, we appreciate you stopping by. Let me play a song, and we're gonna do one more, all right?
Absolutely.
Because I know you gotta go. 5 o'clock today, West Virginia State University. Do we know what hall is in? It's in the. Do we know where
It's
at?
in the old rehab building.
It's in the what? Hold on, Fred. Talk to the people, man. What word is that, Fred?
Okay, yeah, it's in the old rehab building in West Virginia State. What is it called there?
Is it extension building? I don't know. Just go there. We'll figure it out. I don't know. The old rehab building. That sounds like
The integrated research. See,
the research and extension building. That's where we're gonna be.
Yeah.
The IREB auditorium. When they changed that, Press, you've been at State.
It's
32
still there.
years. It's still there.
Yeah, they revamped that building. It's the science building.
Oh, got you, man. We got a dog in the building, Will Roundtree. Hey, listen, we're gonna fix your credit. We're gonna talk about how much it costs to fix your credit too.
Okay,
we can get into that next. Right now, Summer Walker and Usher come through.
What time do you? Hold on.
Hold up,